Hey everybody, Spencer here from Constructive Criticism. Before this video, I just want to let everybody know kind of what's going on YouTube. So YouTube is changing its rules on monetization, and because of that, to be a YouTube partner, you need at least 1,000 subscribers, X number of views per, the last X amount of time. And so for me and my channel, we easily pass the viewership numbers needed. They're not very high. However, we don't have the subscriber numbers. You need 1,000 subscribers. At the time of making this, we're at 917 or something. So we're really, really close. If you could just hit that subscribe button if you're enjoying my content, it would mean the world to me. It means a lot. It really helps out. I mean, YouTube isn't that much money for us here at Constructive Criticism. Most of our money is from patreon.com/ccmtg, but anything that you can do, like hitting that subscribe button, really does help out in the long term and would mean a lot to me. So thank you so much. Enjoy this week's deck tech. So sorry that I've been out. I had a really bad bronchitis. You might actually still be able to hear it. But I'm really excited to be back into Magic content. I really missed you guys. And I'm excited about this deck that I got to play a little bit today. So thanks everybody for watching. Hit that sub button and enjoy the video. Hello everyone and welcome to a video on the Constructive Criticism YouTube channel. I'm Spencer, host of Constructive Criticism and Limited Time Only, two podcasts about getting better at Magic the Gathering. Today is our deck tech for this week. We're really excited about this one. As everybody knows, this is one of my favorite decks. And with the recent bannings in Standard, I think this deck gained a lot of equity, and with the new set, even gained some new toys. So let's get right into Green Black Snake. So, everybody knows I love Green Black Snake, and I'm excited to talk about some of the cards that I included. Let's talk about the first new card. We have 4 Jadelight Rangers in this deck. So Jadelight Ranger, when it enters the battlefield, it explores, and then it explores again. So on the first Explore, if it's a non-land card, you can choose not to put that card in your graveyard the first time, and it will automatically become a 4/3. And then you can choose what to do with that card after. Or if you're just digging for lands, you can choose to bottom that card, look for lands still. If you see land the first time, and the second time, you drew 2 cards deeper into your deck. This card's just value town all over the place. Watching it in play over the last couple days, I've been pretty impressed with it. I think that it will easily crew Heart of Kiran, which is another card that we have in this deck that we haven't typically had. So Heart of Kiran is, the 2-mana 4/4 that we all came to love during Mardu Vehicle's reign. This deck, I think, does a pretty good job of crewing Heart of Kiran, really helping you fill out your 2-drop spot really, really well. So we also have 4 Merfolk Branchwalker. This is another card that can easily crew Heart pretty often because of, Explore. So it comes down as a 2/1. You get to Explore. You either get a card, you get a 3/2 pretty early. If you have a snake in play, obviously both this and Jadelight Ranger get pretty crazy, right? You're able to go get a 4, a 4/3, being cub status almost in its size. We have 1 Rhonas the Indomitable. Rhonas is pretty good in this deck, being able to give your Jadelight Ranger trample as well as some of the other stuff. Really synergizes well with the deck, so pretty happy with Rhonas so far. Ripjaw Raptor is in this deck. I've tried a few different cards in this slot. Ripjaw Raptor seems good because you can follow it up with Rhonas. It crews Heart of Kiran the turn it comes down, things like that. Gives you a little bit of value throughout the game. I've been okay with Ripjaw Raptor. Not as impressed as I was hoping, but it fills the slot nicely. And with Walking Ballista synergies and things like that, it's still a fine card. Rishkar Peema Renegade is next. We have 2 of this in the deck. Rishkar, obviously, after Winding Constrictor, is one of your best starts. This is able to really help you close out games, be fast, things like that. I'm always happy with Rishkar in my deck. Only 2 of in this deck, but I'm relatively happy with the card. We have 2 Scrapheap Scrounger. This card synergizes both with our Heart of Kiran and with our Explore creatures. Being able to put this card into your graveyard for a little bit of extra value is great. Also coming down and crewing Heart of Kiran immediately, and since you're a beatdown deck, the not blocking can be less of a downside. We do have 2 Verdurous Gearhulk in this deck, kind of topping out our curve, being able to go wide with this deck with, it's almost all creatures outside of Heart of Kiran and removal spells in the main deck. So being able to close out games is important, and you want to put as much power on the board as quickly as possible in game 1s. We have 3 Walking Ballistas. This card acts as a removal spell, acts as a creature, acts as a blocker. It does it all. I mean, we've all played with Walking Ballista at this point. The card really does a lot in the deck, and it synergies with Winding Constrictor and Verdurous Gearhulk and things like that make it an easy inclusion. Sorry. We do have those 4 Winding Constrictors. This card, I can't believe I've made so many different Winding Constrictor decks since it's been in the format. I never really thought that I would be the person that would fall in love with this card. People talked about it so much when it was spoiled. I was kind of whatever on the card, but since playing with it and in its time in Standard, I've built myself a lot of Winding Constrictor decks, and this is just another one that I'm really excited to try out. I played a couple games with it today, and I've really enjoyed the deck so far. So we have some more cards on this list. We have 4 Fatal Push. Being the 1 mana in speed interactive spell in this deck, it fills an important role, being able to slow down some of the aggro decks, giving you some tempo advantage because of how many 2-drops you play, things like that. We have 2 Vraska's Contempt. Vraska's Contempt is a catch-all answer that's really important in the deck. Sometimes you have a hard time with certain planeswalkers and also, very large creatures, so having 2 of that is important. We do have 1 Walk the Plank currently in the deck. I put this in the deck over a few different options. Savage Stomp, Die Young could also fill this slot, but I've enjoyed Walk the Plank so far. It's obviously not amazing, but it fills its role nicely by just being an inexpensive answer to large creatures. The land base we have is 4 Blooming Marsh, 4 Evolving Wilds, 6 Forests, 1 Foul Orchard, 3 Hashep Oasis, 2 Ifnir Deadlands, 1 Scavenger Grounds, and 4 Swamp in the main. So the Hashep Oasis are mostly for the sideboard. You do sometimes can get it on your trample creatures and things like that. And with Rhonas, you can, do a couple things, but it is mostly for the Dreamstealers in the sideboard. The Scavenger Grounds in the main, I could see being another spell. You might only want 24 lands in this deck, but I started with 25. I could see this even just being like a Vraska or something. The sideboard we have is 2 Dreamstealer. Dreamstealer is another one that does really well with the Explore creatures, being able to put this into your yard, get you a little bit of extra value. Also, it plays nicely with the Hashep Oasis. One thing that you'll notice that is missing from this deck is the 2 Blossoming Defense. Because of how many creatures you're playing and things like Scrapheap Scrounger, there wasn't room for Blossoming Defense, so that's something that you could consider in your sideboard. But we do have the 2 Heroic Interventions in the sideboard. This kind of fills a lot of that role, right? Being able to give your creatures hexproof or be able to stop them from a wrath effect. Because of how this deck plays, I found that Heroic Intervention was actually needed versus some of those decks, whereas before I've maybe played 1 max ever, but I do think that it becomes more important. We do have Naturalize in the sideboard over Appetite for the Unnatural or the 3/4 Dinosaur. I think that mana efficiency in this deck is going to be more important. You're playing so many cheap creatures, something like that is great, and I don't know that you need another creature to fill that slot. We do have the 2nd Scavenger Grounds for Graveyard Hate, and then we have 2 Planeswalkers in the form of Liliana Death's Majesty and Vraska Relic Seeker. Liliana, I think, is really great in this deck because of the Explore creatures, being able to just put like something in your graveyard while you're looking for a land, and then get it back with Liliana later, really helps this deck out. So Vraska is just a catch-all amazing card. I've been really impressed with her in every deck I've played her in. We do have 3 Duress, 2 Golden Demise, and 2 Lost Legacy. Lost Legacy is another important one. I think that you're going to see a lot of approach decks. You're going to have a hard time with them, and despite the fact that I think Lost Legacy is a terrible Magic card, I think at this point in the format, it might be correct just to play a couple. So that's it for this version of Green Block Snake. Please have a comment, let me know what you think. I could see a few things changing here. I could see, like I said, Vraska in the main. I could see a couple Blossoming Defense somewhere in the 75, but this version of the deck is just what I'm trying out right now. It's been fun, I've enjoyed it, and yeah, let me know what you guys think, and we'll see you guys all next week.